What is going on, guys? Jeffrey Epstein, man, apparently he is gone. He is done for. Apparently by his own hands. And I'm going to look at this article from the NY Post. But I just want to say that I only learned of this early this morning when I got up. I was surprised. I wasn't shocked because there was an incident that happened, while he was incarcerated, where they said that he had attempted to take his life then. But there were also reports that he said that there were people after him, which I'm not surprised because this guy is a holder of secrets. There's no telling who he has dirt on. Now, apparently when they raided his homes, they found all these different, things. They will probably never see the light of day just because of the amount of power that Jeffrey Epstein has from all of the connections that he has made through all the trafficking that he has done. Okay. This guy is a notorious predator. And I thought it was a very good thing he was finally incarcerated. And it seemed like he was never going to see a light of day again. But it's true now because he's no longer here. All right. One of Jeffrey Epstein's lawyers ripped the overzealous prosecutors, pandering politicians, compliant judges, and a hysterical press corps as he laid blame Saturday for the convicted Jeffrey in federal lockup. Let me just say this. Why is the lawyer blaming everybody except Jeffrey Epstein? Now, I know Jeffrey was paying you a lot of money to defend him, but we have to put the blame where it should always have been for a long time, and that's with him and the people that has enabled him. I don't think judges, for the most part, who are in this case now were enabling him. I think the media enabled him somewhat over the years. Politicians have. There are politicians who are linked to Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton. And there are people who believe that this guy was taken out by those individuals. Now, we don't know, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's just kind of weird how he, quote unquote, attempted to take his life before, and now he's gone when he's supposed to be in a very secure facility where they are making sure that they're watching him around the clock. But I will say this, though. I would blame the facility that was holding him, that he was able to harm himself, if that's truly what happened. Attorney Mark Furnick did not name the 66-year-old multimillionaire in his personal statement containing a laundry list of culprits who all seem to have shared in Mr. Epstein's blood on their hands after his apparent suicide in a Manhattan jail. In the statement in which he said did not reflect the views of the defense team as a whole, Furnick blasted prosecutors who were bent on locking up a presumably innocent man, posing no real danger or flight risk. Really now, this is a guy that had for so long has gotten away with what he has gotten away with. And what you want to say, Mr. Attorney, is that he's no flight risk. He's no danger to society. This guy being free is a danger to society. He's a danger to the people that he has harmed, that he has gotten away with for so long because of the connections that he has. But y'all know there's always going to be two sides of everything. There's going to be the people that are going to defend actions, and there's going to be the people who call it out. Epstein had requested to be released to electronically monitor house arrest. but Manhattan federal judge Richard Berman turned him down in mid-July. An appeal of that decision was pending. You know, I look at the R. Kelly situation. You know, R. Kelly was put in custody, and he is going to be in custody until his trial. Okay? And I believe Epstein has done a lot worse, you know, from what I have heard and the articles I've seen. This guy has done some foul things. So he was right where he should be. If you got to be consistent. If R. Kelly's going to be incarcerated, this guy needs to be incarcerated too. Ferning also blasts the staff of the federal Manhattan Correctional Center where Epstein was held. He pointed a finger at jailers who appeared to have recklessly put Mr. Epstein in harm's way, heedlessly placing his life at risk and failing to protect him. Now, I understand that because those guards had one job, and that was to make sure he make it to trial or whenever his next court date. And they failed to do so. So I think a lot of the situation, in this situation, the fact that this happened, you do have to put a lot of responsibility on these people who are supposed to have been guarding him to make sure that either no one else got to him or he didn't get to off himself. Epstein was not currently on suicide watch, a jail spokesman said, despite being found unconscious in his cell on July 23rd in what was at least initially seen as an attempt on his own life. Attorney took a double shot at the press, stating that it was clamoring to recharge Mr. Epstein with dated crimes for which he'd long since paid his debt to society under an arm's length plea deal. Just because he had the misfortune to be a wealthy man in the Me Too era whose former prosecutor happened to take a job with President Trump, he also complained about the breathless reporters excavating every corner of Mr. Epstein's life to pile on, tear him down, and kick him at his lowest, while still presumed innocent before he had his day in court. You know, I know this attorney is seeing all that money he was about to make go down the drain. I don't know if he's still going to get paid. You know, I don't know if this, you know, pretty much his job is done. But you're fighting the wrong battle. You're lashing out. I understand that this particular facility failed their job. Okay? But we have to look at the situation that Jeffrey Epstein put himself in. Jeffrey Epstein put himself in this situation. He is to blame, nobody else. And it seems to me that this lawyer wants to blame everybody, but the fact that his client is a guy who did all of this to himself. He put himself in this situation. I think that he probably should have been prosecuted harshly years ago. He had basically gotten away with it from what I read. You know, that was a slap on the wrist. And now he's in a situation where he had to answer for the crimes that he had done. But with all of the people that he has been able to blackmail, allegedly, all the people who've been on his plane, all the people that he has gotten to know and rub elbows with, there are some of those people who didn't want him to talk. But we will see what happens moving forward.